Mitch, Phil,
Jamie.
Man, this is
Good to be here.
the time of Wayland.
You just told us it was Wednesday. That was good to know.
that's a great way to say it. It is. It is the time of Wayland.
It is the season of Wayland.
Yeah.
I mean, you just released your great new album just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal. We've been on a bench.
Thank you.
How's it been since the album's been out in the world? Like, what are all the feelings, the reception?
Yeah, well, it's exciting because I guess to me, I think a new album always brings new listeners, and that's super exciting. But the biggest compliments to me are the ones of like the people that have followed us from day one. Yeah. And so it's always like, what are they going to think? The ones that, we first got on a lot of people's radar. We were a pretty hard rock band, and the band has evolved quite a bit over the years as Mitch and I have, looked in the mirror, and with each record, with each single, with each time you're stepping into a studio, you kind of try to peel back the onion, the layers, and dig deeper who we really are, what kind of music we're really trying to make. And I would say this is the closest. It's never the end journey, but so with that, because it's changed and evolved, you're wondering what those original listeners are going to think, the people that first started following us in 2012 or whatever. So to see those comments of some of those key, our fans are called the WAYLAND WARRIORS. So some of those key warriors, it was almost like not a relief, but like a lot of pride, and like just really appreciate the fact that a lot of them are writing, on the comments of it's their favorite record yet, or their favorite songs or whatever. So that's been really beautiful.
Yeah. Because it is like a sonic change, Mitch. Like it is a little bit of a swing up. We're like, how do I do it?
Yeah, it's definitely an evolution of the band.
Sure.
And I feel like no matter where we're at or what we're doing, Phil and I are always influenced by the music that we're listening to. And although we have our favorites that we'll never stop listening to, that list always changes. And so those influences always change. And so the sound evolves and changes with each record.
Yeah.
And it's not something that we purposely do. It's just, we write from the heart. And, Phil produced a lot of this last record, and that was the first time for him producing. And he got in there behind the board, and what came out was something that was very genuine and sincere, and accidentally evolved, from what we had been doing. So yeah, sonically things have changed a little.
I love that. I mean, and the whole album is great, man. There's like no filler, dude. I mean, it's just like phenomenal, every single track. There's a few that I want to talk about, like Water. Love Water. Cool. That's a cool song. What's the story with that one in the Joshua Tree? Like the whole experience, because I'm on the desert. Like I love going to Sedona sometimes when I need to rewire myself for a minute. And just like listening to that song, you can definitely hear that there was magic when that was made.
I would agree. I know it's one of Mitch's favorite tracks. It gets brought up in our life like that song is special because I think it, like what Mitch was talking about with the sound evolving, like we weren't going for any sound. Like you just, we get a song and you just start working it, and you just let the song kind of go where it needs to me. Like, and yeah, being in Nashville is very influential, but before that we were in Joshua Tree when we started this record. And the desert was very influential, just in the sense that there's no rules. It's like the Wild West. And with the open sky and the cactuses and jackrabbits and like all, every plant will kill you. And like, it's just this license to be weird. We'd never experienced anything like the desert. It was just amazing for us. And it was a freedom because it was just us in the studio. We do whatever we want.
Michigan
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly. We could do whatever we want. So, we wrote the song of, that's one of my favorite things about Mitch is he's got this awesome creativity, and there's no limits to it, so he can have a simple conversation with a girl at a party, and then...
Yeah, it was a 15-minute conversation with this girl.
But he go home and write this song about it, which is a story, and a whole universe is formed.
It's like, it was interesting because she was this just really interesting person, and I'll never forget how she smelled. And it was just like, I was engulfed by it. I was engulfed by feeling and engulfed by, I was really intrigued by the conversation. And I never saw her again after that, actually.
Yeah.
But there was a really cool song that came out of it,
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, as we sat down to write it together, it's really about just being in the moment, being, in the waters or whatever, just being engulfed in that moment, not worrying about whether it's real or fake or where it's going or if you're going to talk to this person again. But just being here in that moment,
I do get a sense, Phil, and talking to you as well, Mitch, that there is a really deep sense of mindfulness with you guys. Just like from the time we spent together and from the stories of your songs. Mindfulness, just being present in every second, in every moment, in every action. Is that something that like always came naturally to you guys, or is that something that kind of came like later with years?
I don't know. You know, we love to experience, and that's kind of what bonded us when we first met. Like, we met in Los Angeles when we were 18 years old, and we would play on the streets in Huntington Beach, playing Brown Eyed Girl and Hard to Handle. And when you go down to the beach and you open your guitar case and you start playing for people, you end up meeting some pretty colorful characters. Sure. And we would let the day lead wherever it went, you know, and just having these adventures together, and then started touring the world together and doing the same thing, really. And we still do the same thing. You know, people come in and out of our lives all the time, and we let it happen. And you know, I think as you get older, you probably, you know, you don't want to get jaded or cynical, but you definitely put your guard up as you mature a little bit. But you still want to be open to these experiences. That's what life's about, right?
So when you guys were jamming in California, who approached who? Was it you, Mitch, that approached?
Well, actually, the first time we met, I was dating a girl from his hometown. And Phil was coming out to visit because he was graduating high school and coming out that next year. Okay. And so I was already there. Right. And the girl that I was dating said, "Hey, I've got this friend coming into town. I've got class. Can you go pick him up?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And so I drove my little Nissan Elliott.
Yeah.
And I picked up Phil, and we were very fast friends. Immediately, and
I was the only guy that I knew in California that could get weed at the time.
I mean, that's a big...
Yeah. Instant friends. No, he had just started playing guitar, and, you know, and I heard him sing for the first time, too, and I was like, wow, dude, can you teach me how to sing like that? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's easy, no problem. And he still hasn't taught me how to sing like that, but, you know, we started making music immediately, and it was like, not really with any... You know, yeah, no, like, hey, we're going to start a business or anything. It was just jamming, and it really became something that we looked forward to every day. And then we couldn't wait to share with our friends. Our friends all like, you know, just became our identity really quickly.
Super awesome.
Yeah, it's weird.
We were talking off camera about relationships in Nashville and all that, also applied to friends and all that, and brotherhood. Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I talked to Melly like a year ago. I know it's like hip hop, but...
Did he mention us?
He did not.
Yeah. But he was the weird playing on my spring break.
Really?
When I was in high school, was that Nelly? That's all they played.
Well, that's where I'm going. Longevity. And I like it's true. Like that thing to me. The more I mean, music is like so crucial and so meaningful.
Right.
I mean, like brotherhood's like the one that you guys have. Like when it goes through pandemics, maybe some albums don't do as well as the others. Mm-hmm. Okay, crazy managers, all kinds of bullshit, streaming, TikTok, this and that. And I wanted to ask you guys about, like, what's been the secret just for the band and for you guys to just continue to do it with this zest, with this quality, and with this passion?
I feel like relationships of this kind of magnitude and this longevity, they're never perfect. And it's not about how you get along. It's about how you get through the times where you're not getting along. And that comes from a deep sense of unconditional love inside of that space, and knowing not only that you love this person without conditions, but also that now we're a part of something that is much bigger than us. You know, Wayland and the music and the things that we do together, it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 multiplied by 1 = 100 million.
Oh, sure.
Do you know? So like that energy that we have together is something that is just a lot larger than just the two of us. And I think that it's a combination of all those things together, and recognizing that the power of looking at the good in the situation and coming out on the other end still friends, still loves, you know. That's really important. And in this business, as you know, things are ever moving and ever changing and forever transforming. And it always takes a couple of seconds to come back to center with yourself and with each other. And that's how we've kept going, and that's how we continue to make music, and that's how we continue to walk down the street and talk to each other and all those things.
Yeah. I would dare to say that that is one of the most beautiful gifts of Wayland. Just that, what you just mentioned. I'd like, that the music is a vessel to messages like
It is absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've never been married, and I haven't been able to have a long relationship for a while. But I would say that what we have been through together, we could probably write a book on what it means to stay together through it all, because we've gone through it all together.
Yeah. It's a family.
We've
Yeah, I don't really know where that happened or why that happened, because, our first incarnation of this band was 4 guys that were in a band together for 11 years. Mitch and I had already been doing it before that, but once we started a band and got on the road and stuff, those 4 guys were together 11 years, and I mean, those 2 people made a choice at one point to exit and walk away, and it was never even an option. It's just okay, what do we do? It was painful for us, but it was yeah, we didn't think about not doing this, so I don't relate to, it's like a music industry thing for people to call a band a project or and maybe I've never, people have referred to this as a project or a producer or something. I mean, this is not a project. This is our life, behind a microphone and not this is what we do, and we are always thinking about it 24 hours a day, and it's annoying to the people around us.
yes.
It's hard to be around us, I think, on certain levels. Some people are fascinated by it and they're attracted to it until they're around us for a certain period of time and realize it's not going to wear off. Yeah, exactly.
Thought that we could get away and go on a vacation and not have this, but it is it's an obsession, and I would dare to say it's a healthy obsession, because of the things that we're doing. But like Phil says, not everyone understands that, especially as they get close to the band.
Well, that's so many great things you said there, but you're right. When people call it a project, which a lot of our colleagues do and friends do, almost psychologically, it puts
you're just going to try it. Yeah. It's an experiment sure.
In some ways, I really feel like we never had a choice. Of course, we choose each other every day, and we choose this band every day. But there was a moment that we didn't have a choice, because we started playing music and saw the impact.
Sure.
And we followed that.
And I think it's for us, I mean, there's been some moments where Mitch and I look at each other and we're like, are we going to keep doing this? When nothing seems to be going right, and we didn't have 2 cents to rub together, and it's always that moment when that day we get a message on Instagram or Facebook or something from a fan saying how this song helped them when they were almost going to end their life, or got them through a time when they were overseas, whether it be a veteran or something like that. I guess having the fan base, the Wayland Warriors, it's not the biggest fan base in the world, but they're just such an amazing, true group of people that they're really out. We have a great relationship, and that's what's kept us going. We kind of can't leave them hanging, which is weird, but it's true.
Man, I could talk to you guys for 17 hours. You guys are fascinating. You mentioned marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I was married, divorced now. Take me to got me thinking about that song, because you're divorced as well.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not an artist, but I feel like if I was a singer-songwriter, a producer now, you guys are, you are, Phil. Man, just putting your life out there the way you did in Other End of a song, I don't know how you guys do that. I find that completely mind-boggling. I got divorced for my thing, and it's the normal pain and all that, but it's not in a sonic 3.5 minute piece.
Yeah. You don't have to sing about it all the time. Yeah. Yeah.
Out there. Yeah. And I'll let you answer this question, but I would have to say it's a little bit of magic, because whenever he showed me the song after he spent the 3 days alone in the woods and they came back and showed it, it was nothing short of magic. And in the sense of he played the song, it's I can't say it any better myself. That's so incredible.
Yeah.
And so there is a little bit of magic in it, a little of mystic energy in it,
Yeah.
I don't know about any magic, but we toured 300 days a year for 7 years straight. We're, you know, from a van to a bus, and did not stop. And it all kind of blew up in our faces at one point with everybody just being like, ah, like, you know. And I think, I don't know, Mitch went home to his girlfriend's house, and I ended up going, I was breaking up with my wife, and I went, rented this Airbnb up in a little cabin in Michigan for 3 days just to kind of like process like what just happened, you know. And when I was there, my ex-wife, she turned her, it just happened to be at that moment, she turned her location off on her phone. And it like, you get a message saying like that this person turned their location off, you know, and that was just kind of like a moment that made it very real, that even though we were separated and it was a conversation, it was like, this is happening, you know. And, I mean, what else do? You put in a song, you sing about it, you know. And I didn't know how the song was going to turn out, but I think that was part of the healing process for me, was to write a little song that just told our story a little bit. That helped me move on, if that makes sense. And so like, I don't have, it's not weird for me to talk about, and it's not, you know, it's, I don't like, you know, go to a play that back to that place or anything. It's, the song it does that. Right. It's there. It's all right there, you know.
Now, so, and you're in a great place now, so you almost look at.
Thank you.
Like with gratitude. Like,
Yeah, for sure. I'm very grateful for. Yeah. And we all, you know, always see life as, you can see chapters and the page turns. And
do you ever get feedback out of these songs, like from the characters involved?
yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, for that song, I when we got finished recording it, I sent it to my ex-wife, and you know, she thanked me for telling our story. You know, so that was a cool kind of closing chapter moment for me. We wrote the song Way Back When, which is the first song on the record about an experience that Mitch had. We were on tour. You can tell the story, but she loved the song too, you know. So
Yeah, the girl that I wrote the song, who inspired it, she had texted me a picture, said, hey, look what I found in my closet. And it was this picture of the letter that I had written her to break up with her while we were touring. And we laughed about it. And when we look back on that time, we talked about the good times. And I went home and wrote this little piece called Way Back When and brought it in. And obviously it's a song now. But, you know, she was really flat out and loved the song, and came out while we were in Grand Rapids and had a really fun time at the show and sang along to every word.
we've also had some people really offended by songs that we've written for, you know. It's also not gone so well, you know. So feel like, is that about me by any chance? Like, no.
We were just talking about Sierra Farrell's album, like that whole thing. It's crazy because I know
I have not got to listen to her new record yet.
characters involved, so I hear those songs and I'm just like, oh, I wonder what X person is thinking of. Like, anyway, well, guys, you guys have a lot going on, so let me leave you guys with this. You guys talked about the WAYLAND WARRIORS, and I haven't seen you in person perform yet, but I saw you guys a bunch on YouTube and checked out a bunch of Reddit kind of boards, and everyone that sees you guys.
Oh, what does Reddit say? I've never looked this up on Reddit.
It's good stuff.
Okay. People are usually pretty brutal on there.
There's a lot of great stuff. Everyone seems to just kind of connect with you.
About Mitch, too?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, hero. Who are you doing? Just the way you guys perform live seems to really leave a mark on people. It's out there. Like, people seem to really love it.
Yeah.
It seems to be more than just a show. What do you attribute that to? That connection, you know, that you guys are able to just really dig in?
You know, that's definitely the thing that we base our whole world around. Like, you know, a lot of times even when we're writing songs, I like to think about how's this going to translate on a big stage, you know. But I don't know. You know, we do not phone it in. Like, when we go out there and play, we play as hard as we can with all of everything we have, whether there were 5 people in the audience or 5,000 or 25,000, you know, and that's, I know it's been said about us because it's absolutely true. We started out playing to, like, on our first tour, it was like the door guy and the bartender in an empty room, but we played as hard as we could. We never phoned it in because I know we have a respect for the music, and we just figured that was the only way people were going to figure out what we do, you know, and latch onto it. So, yeah, the live show is it is our favorite thing. So you do all the other stuff. So you're 23 hours a day for that 45 minutes on stage. You know, all the other crap, the social media and the, you know, all the stuff just to get. Oh, like the worst, right? Yeah. No, really, that's it. It's all just to get to that, to be on stage, that connection with the audience, seeing people sing your songs back, seeing them just simply clap along, making faces, throwing guitar picks. It's a blast. It's energy. Yeah.
Is to be said. On the way, man, I got to tell you, I think it's so far your best album. Your songwriting is on point.
Wow,
The vocals are on point.
thank you.
Just on research alone, like, man, that is the best. Like, you guys are just killing it. So,
Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate that, man.
thanks for coming.
Thank you, man.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here for the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from J-Rod Concert Media.